Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you a super awesome new pocket light from IVISII, and that's coming up next. Alright guys, welcome back to the video, and today we're going to be talking about the IVISII G2 Pocket RGB light from Pixel. Now this light comes in at about $63 and is one of the least expensive RGB lights that I've found that is a full metal body construction. All of the hinging system on here is metal, the body itself is metal. This is an extremely heavy duty light. It's the very first thing you notice when you pull it out of the box. Most of the other lights on this channel that I've done reviews of in this price point are cheaper plastic lights. That's typically what you're getting around this price point. So hats off to IVISII for making a super durable light at a lower budget price. Now this light comes jam-packed with a bunch of features. First and foremost, just as normal lighting, you can go all the way down to 2600 Kelvin and then all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin. So you can pretty much have any light temperature for any scene that you are working on, no matter what it is. It's going to be extremely versatile in this aspect of normal lighting. Now on top of the normal lighting, you can go into RGB, where it goes through the entire RGB spectrum. You can dial through the entire spectrum and find pretty much any light that you want to use for the situation you're using it in. Now on top of those two modes, you also have 9 lighting effects, which is something you're seeing a little bit more common on a lot of these lights, which can really come in handy in certain film projects depending on what you're doing. It has 2 different versions of lighting: TV screen, police, ambulance, fire engine, 2 different RGB spectrum circle patterns, as well as an SOS style light, which is super awesome for a portable light. And that way you can get the same type of effects you can from some of the bigger lights, now just on the go in a much smaller package. Now this light comes packed with a 4300 milliamp battery, which can get you close to 400 minutes at about 50% brightness and about 150 minutes or so at 100% brightness. Now one of the biggest pluses with this light is the fact that you can actually run the light while charging it through the USB-C. So if you have a power bank or something like that, you can plug it into the light and continuously run this light off of external battery on top of the internal battery that's on there. None of the other lights that I've done reviews for on this channel have given me that ability to keep it plugged into a much longer lasting power source. IVISII managed doing it here, which is absolutely spectacular for the price of $63. Now for some testing purposes, I'm going to cut all of my front facing key lights off and use just the IVISII light at a couple of different percentages. That way you guys can see how much this light actually lights up your subject when you have it on there, and to get a better understanding of how bright this light really goes. Alright, in this test I've turned off my key light that usually shines on me. I did leave a little bit of background lighting on. That way you guys can get an idea what this light looks like on my face with some background lighting. And I've got the light set up at 5600 because that's what I normally use this light at. And it is currently at 25%. I do have it on a little tripod just so I can kind of hold it at arm's length and give you an idea of what the light looks like. Now this is at 25% brightness, and as you can see, it lights me up way more than my normal key light does at about the same distance. And actually let me hold it at that angle because this is where my key light normally comes from. And as you can see, it's lighting me up quite well. It's even starting to light the back up a little bit. So let me turn this thing up. I'm going to go all the way up to 100%, and that way you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like at a higher number. So give me 1 second here. All right, there we go. And we are going to go up. Now that is at 100% brightness, which is way too bright. It's to the point where I can't even see. It's blown out pretty much all the highlights on my face. It's lighting up the back of the room like absolute mad. And as you can see right there, like that's this light at 100%. And it's enough light to do a nice fill on an entire room. So I'm going to cut that back down to, I probably don't need it more than about 15. And that's at 15%, which to me, at least for the way that I film, is more than enough light on my face, especially when I go into post and I start color grading. 15% at 5600 is more than bright enough to use this as a key light on your camera. That's at 10%. And that's at 15%. And that's at 20%. And this is back at the 25% where this started. All right, now one of the other features I really like about this light, number one, is the way the dial system is set up. Essentially, instead of buttons like a lot of the other lights have, you've got up and down dials that you can push in to change your modes, and then you can kind of flip them upwards or downwards to go through your different menus. These buttons can be used from the front or the back, which makes it super easy if the light's facing you to kind of go in and push the buttons here on the side, go through some of your settings without having to go around to the back. Now, if you do want to see what's on the back of the light, if it's mounted on your camera, you can flip this around. Everything is going to be upside down for you, but you can still read all the settings and go through the dials. That way you can look at your screen and change your settings simultaneously. Now, another thing about this light that makes it super versatile is the hinging system that is on here, the mount system. Essentially with this, once you mount it, you can kind of spin the light any direction you want to. You can even kind of put it up into a vertical stance. That way you can have an extra cold shoe mount here, an extra cold shoe mount here while having your lights. And then from here, you can twist it all the way around. This is something extremely unique with a light, as most of these, you just have a standard cold shoe mount on the bottom that lets you put it on your camera. And that's really the most you can do in terms of adjustments. This was just another one of those things that IVISII thought of and put on this light to kind of help us out as filmmakers and give us more versatility in the product. Now, when you get the light, it's going to come with a few things. You're going to get a little satchel to put the light in. You're going to get the light itself. You're going to get a little screw-in mounting bracket for the bottom, as well as a little handheld tripod. That way, if you want to screw it on and use it in a handheld way, you can. That's what I was using during my dark scene test for you guys, was I just screwed this on and was able to hold it. This is also going to come in handy if you just want to set the light somewhere and aim in a direction. It's a super lightweight tripod that you can essentially take anywhere with you, stick it in your pocket, a coat pocket, whatever. And then you're also going to get the USB Type-C charging cable that comes with this light. The only thing this light is missing that I would have liked to have seen, and maybe we'll get it on a future revision of this light, is the ability to change the light from your phone. That is something you're seeing more common, is app controllability on these lights. And it would be nice to see it on this light somewhere in the future. That way it just makes changing it on the go a little bit easier without having to reach around and mess with it, especially if the light is at a distance. But that is just a little small complaint. It is not a deal breaker at all for this light. Now, my final thoughts on the IVISII G2 is that in that $60 to $65 price point, this so far has been the best light that I've had a chance to use as well as review. It's got a lot of the features that I wish some of my other lights had. It's got the durability that I wish my other lights had. And the biggest thing of all is the fact that I can power it on a power bank, which is the one thing that all of us wish that all of our lights had the ability to do. That way we don't have to worry about these things going dead on us. We always have some form of backup power. For anyone interested in this light, I'm going to put the link as usual down in my description below. And if anyone has any questions about the light, please feel free to comment down in the comment section. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, as it helps the channel greatly. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification. That way you get notifications anytime I put out a new video on the channel. All right, guys, that about wraps this up. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time.